Okay, so this is wonderful Canvas that we've been talking about. Everything you want here and more. Okay, so everything I'm going to explain to you when you go to our class, the first the home page is going to be this. You're going to see a wonderful picture of myself, okay? And everything I'm going to explain is also written over here as an overview. You'll notice that these are the dates that on Thursdays that we will meet in the on campus, okay, depending on what semester you are, okay, so I'll put something like that. I'll also mention if there's any exams that we have to do online through a Zoom, and then I'll talk to you about modules, again, where that mastering biology would be found and how to register. If you're going to have online exams, then I'll show you how to go about doing that. And the best way, the only way to really get in touch with me is through this Canvas mail. So let me first explain to you the Canvas mail. When you go to this left area, usually if you set up an icon and what we call an avatar, you'll see a picture of you here. It's going to be the fourth one down here, which will be called the inbox. When you click on that, see, I can't get in there because, oh, one other thing I want to mention too. This will look exactly like yours. The only thing different is this pink bar down here. This is just telling me I'm in student mode, so I have an idea of what you're going to see when you do this. But because I'm in student mode, I'm a student with no name. That's why it's not granting me any kind of access. But this is where I want you to check. You'll see, of course, a little number over here if you got an email. Again, I check this at least 2 to 3 times a day, every day, even on Super Bowl Sunday or Valentine's Day. My wife's not too crazy about that, but nonetheless, I check it every day. If you don't get an answer from me within 24 hours, and like I said, usually much, much sooner, then I didn't get it for some reason. You have to resend it. And I want you to check this at least at least 2 times a day, maybe once in the morning, once in the evening. Okay. All right. So let me go back. Okay. So let me explain to you what's over here. Okay. You could either go to the syllabus area, which will be, you could click over here in this blue syllabus, or you could just go to modules where you're going to spend some time. Okay. So we'll click on modules. And what you see over here, now I'm going to just close these up a little bit so it's not going to be so messy, and we'll go through it line by line. Okay, so the syllabus and other documents is going to be found over here. So you could print out the syllabus over here. You could watch the video again if you want to hear my voice again about the syllabus. You could find it over here. Here's that entering survey. I'm asking you to download, complete, and then save it as a different name, usually like John Smith or whatever your name is, and then email it back to me. You can attach things to this inbox over here. Okay. The mastering biology student registration, this is the instructions how to do that. It'll be straightforward. And then you're going to find a few other things over here, policies and whatnot, some interesting things for yourself. But like I said, this is where you're going to find the syllabus and other documents. Okay. Let me go to the next part. This is going to be the presentations, PowerPoint, and short videos. So when you look over here, all my PowerPoints in order are going to be here. I'm not going to print these out for you. It's up to you if you want to print them out, if you want to I'll explain how to go about doing it with my videos, but they're up to you. These are not my video lectures. These are small little, the ones in blue here. These are just videos, short videos that I found on the internet, like mostly YouTube. So anywhere from like 2 to 10-minute videos that would help solidify the harder concepts that are in, let's say, cell anatomy and so forth. So definitely take a look at this. I also want to mention that these little short videos are usually embedded into my video lectures. So you don't have to watch these. They are usually in the video lectures. I edit them into them, okay? So they're all on there. Now here's the video lectures, okay? So let me show you what one looks like. Let's pick, we'll do cellular respiration. Okay. Just give it a moment. Okay. Click on this.
So now you guys are ready for the
Okay.
hard stuff.
So, give me a moment. I don't know why the, see, this is internet traffic, right? So first off, I want to blow this up and just listen for a moment on this.
Right. That's one of the ways you're blowing off CO2.
Okay, so here is the PowerPoint presentation. Here I do a lot of what I call art therapy. And then you have me. And I actually video recorded this in a live classroom. Okay. Now, like I said, the sound is there, but I find that I'm going to just mute myself. The sound is there, but students have always told me that you'll be able to see how much clearer it just went. Yeah, so it's getting there. But you'll be able to hear this much better if you have a headset or you have earpods or earbuds, whatever they're called, those kinds of things. And it's much clearer. I wouldn't say I'm in stereo, but it's much clearer than what you're hearing from your own speakers from your own computer itself. But I wanted to create this what I call trifecta, where you have the PowerPoint up here, my what I call art therapy on here, and then me walking around. So I use my hands quite often. But yeah, I want you to feel as though you're in the classroom with me. And that's what a lot of students feel as though they are. So I think that's a big plus over here. I actually had all these video recorded probably about 5 or 6 years before the pandemic. So I was kind of ahead of my times. I have them all my lectures are all video recorded. So I want to just show you. So cellular respiration, it's a big topic, by the way. I have it over here. And if you just read the first one over, if you just watch the first one, you only get the first 30 minutes or so. It's not the whole PowerPoint. This one's a pretty long one, as I mentioned. So there's actually, this is like BIOL-1, BIOL-2. Sometimes it could be AO1 or CO1. But there's actually 6 parts over here. Okay, it's a pretty long one. You can see I do a lot of drawing. Also, when you go over to the description area, you will also see, let me go to a different one that would have more here, hopefully. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Well, sometimes they're pretty long over here. Not long, like maybe about 4 or 5 lines. But this will tell you at least where I'm talking about on the video itself or on the PowerPoint. So utilize this as best as you could. The successful students have all told me that the best way that for them, and it was usually around the, it seemed like everybody was doing this, is to have 2 digital devices. One digital device will have the video going, as you can see here, and you can blow it up. And the second digital device is going to be like a tablet or a cell phone, and you have the PowerPoint on there crisp, like crystal clear. So you could see what I'm pointing to with that. So I find that students, when they have 2 digital devices, it's much easier for them. And don't worry, if you don't have 2 digital devices, just split your screen. So one side has the video and one side has a very clear, clean-cut PowerPoint that you could actually see. And then the third thing that you should have with you, besides the 2 digital devices, is your notebook. So do it as though you're in the classroom with me and just take your notes and do all that, okay? So that's a little bit about my videos and what you're gonna see on there, okay? So let me go back. Let's go back to modules. Close this out. Okay. So just showing where we are. So I showed you the syllabus and other documents, the presentations, the PowerPoint, so to say, and these were all the videos, and everything is here, okay? The review questions. Now, the way I have the review questions is after each PowerPoint, you should be able to do a set of these review questions. Now, these review questions are very good to do. I want everyone to be doing them. I don't collect them, but and it's optional to do. Keep in mind, I've learned that students feel that the word optional means don't have to do. I didn't say that. I'm saying I'm not collecting it, but do it at your own pace. And I'll give you some reasons why you may want to be doing these. Okay, so let's say the first review question set is, let's see how many questions. 15 questions, it looks like. Okay, yeah, 15 questions. So give yourself 15 minutes to do it. If you want to give yourself 20 minutes, that's okay. So give yourself 20 minutes to do this. Now, the time to do these is that after you watch my video, after you go through my PowerPoint, after you took all your notes and you studied your notes, this is not a thing where you don't want to answer these questions while studying. They're called review questions. So after you go through the whole thing and you're ready for a so-called test, then test yourself and be able to do these here. Now, the way to do these for any exam, this is why I'm going to help you to solidify or amplify your own test-taking strategies. For instance, the main difference between an autotroph and heterotroph is, now I'm not going to give you the answer, but let's say you say the answer is B. Okay. You better make sure you know why A, C, D, and E are incorrect. That's how you go through this. Now, it takes me longer to explain all that than for you to have these interneurons firing in your brain, right? So you need to not know just why B is correct. You need to know why each of the other ones are incorrect. And that's going to help to make you a better study taker, a stronger test taker, your study skills, your test taking strategies, everything is going to be much better than that. If you haven't been doing that, sure, it's going to be harder to do, but you want to be a good student. Now, you want to be a great student. These are the kinds of tips that you'll be able to do, okay? And then go to the next one and do the same thing with all that, okay? Now, sometimes, now, the answers are not here. I don't have answer keys, okay? The answer keys are really in my videos and in my PowerPoint presentations, okay? You will find the answers there. Now, if there's a question on here, and when you go back to see your notes, because that's the place you want to go first, and say, okay, let me see if this one's right, the autotroph and heterotroph. And you go back in your notes and you don't have anything about an autotroph and heterotroph in your notes, then that's telling you that you felt that that was insignificant to write down or to know. But I'm telling you, by these review questions, this is the important stuff to know. These are the important concepts to know, okay? So what you need to do is then go back into the PowerPoint presentation or go back into the video, and now you got to find the answer to see what's correct, and now you put it into your notebook, so that you are going to get, after chapter after chapter after chapter, you're going to start thinking, well, what is Dr. Gamaro going to ask on the exam? I don't think this is significant, but would he think it's significant? So you need to know, again, you need to hone in on your study skills. So this will do that. Now, after you go through all these and you see what your answers are, then what I want you to do is meet up with one or two other classmates. Okay, you have lab partners, so maybe you'll do that. And make sure that these classmates also did them properly, okay? Now, you could take 2 hours to do all this. Maybe someone else will take 6 hours and another one doing 10 hours. I'm just giving you numbers. But what I'm saying is don't do them together, because if you're the type of person that only needs 2 hours to do them and you're studying with someone who takes 10 hours to do them, you're really going to be wasting a lot of time. What you need to do is that everybody in this little 2 or 3 people group have gone through them all. And then you're just now going over the answers. And that's where you're going to learn from each other. You're going to see, okay, you pick B, and I pick B. Chances are we got that right. Is there anybody here that came up with that saw a different video that helped them with this? Or do you have a mnemonic or something like that? Because that's where all of you are in the same boat with this. So you're going to learn from each other about different study skills, okay? And then maybe the next question, you got B, and I got C. Well, if this is the reason why I picked C, what was the reason why you picked B? So that's what you're going to do, okay? That's what I want you to do. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to give you the answers. No, I am saying that. I'm not going to give you the answers to any of these. What I will do, chances are, if there's 15 questions here, you might have a problem with maybe one or two, because once you could go back to the video, you'll find the answers. But if you have a question about one or two, if you email me and you prove to me that you went through the question by saying, Dr. Gamara, on question number 3 over here, I know the answer is not B or A because you said this in your video and it's on PowerPoint present, it's on slide number 22. And I know it's not fungi or it's not E over here because that's too obvious because it's not this or that. I'm getting confused between these two over here because your PowerPoint says this and then your video is alluding to this. Can you give me some kind of understanding? Now, I'm still not going to give you the answer, but you proved to me you went through it. I'm going to direct you. I usually will send you an email saying, yes, you are correct, you're on the right track, but keep in mind of what this is. Maybe you're not even thinking it's one of these two, but maybe I'm going to hint that maybe the answer is B by saying, if you go to the PowerPoint presentation, slide 42 or whichever, and read about each one of these different kingdoms that are in the world, you will see that there is a difference between archaic and the animalate. So it's that kind of thing. And usually I get an email back from the students saying, thank you very much, you just solved everything. Because I'm not going to be with you all the time. So I need you to know how to research, how to look for these answers so that you become the better student. They are not going to do this in nursing school or radiology school, let alone medical school. So you need to pick up your study skills now, okay? Be the better student. Be the best student that you can be, okay? So that's a little bit about these review questions. Oh, and the other thing, I do reward the students who do this because 20 to 25% of my exams have these questions on them verbatim. So if you do them, then you'll know at least 20, 25% of the exam. You went through them all, okay? So I reward students for doing that, which is another reason why I don't give the answer keys, because I find that some students would just memorize the answers, and that's not why I created these, okay? So anyway, that's a little bit about these review questions, okay? So let me go back to modules. Close out this or shrink it down. So here's all the review questions. You could either get each one individually, or here's a little zip package or whichever of all 16 at one time. So whatever you want to do over here, okay? Then I have lab reports. And I will print out all the lab reports for you. You'll get it as a packet. Like I said, if you lose it or the dog ate it, yeah, I've actually seen that or heard that too. You could reprint it out over here. Okay, so you have everything. And then if I need to put any supplemental things in here, which I don't right now, I find a great video or another picture or something like that, I'll throw it in here and I'll let people know about that. So that's what you're going to find at least in the modules section. Okay, the My Lab and Mastering. Okay, I don't know if it's going to show it here, because I'm in, oh, okay. So this is where I want you to register for Mastering Biology, okay? So when you click on that, you're gonna get into this area here. And when you click on Open My Lab and Mastering, that's where it should ask you the info. Yeah, it's not gonna, say I agree, I accept. I don't think it's gonna let me because I'm in the student mode. Yeah. Well, I've already signed up, I guess. But this is where it's going to ask you to create an account, okay? And that's where you're going to fill in. You're going to purchase the access code, or if you already have an access code that you bought at the bookstore, you'll pop it in there, okay? And you'll get all linked up to that. So that's where this is. I can't really explore it with you in the student mode, but that's what that is over there, and that's your homework, okay? The quizzes, it's not really quizzes. If you have any online exams, then you're going to find them here in the quizzes. All right. And they'll be marked over here. Let me see. Yeah. So this for this semester, there is a list of lecture exams that we'll be doing. It's telling you the dates of them and when they begin. Okay, I'll tell you more about that later. There's also a bonus quiz. I'll tell you more about that online, but that would only happen if you have 2 of these on here. Okay. And there's also a practice quiz just to get an idea that you have that you could explore a little bit on my on what my lecture exams would be like online, if that's what you have. Okay, so that's what that is. Also, I want to mention too, with the practice quiz, there is 2, I think there's 12 questions, and it's not going to hurt or help your grade. They're just basic biology stuff that you would have learned in society, or if you learned in high school, just very basic. It's not about the questions, it's just getting an idea of navigating. So if you go over here, there's 12 questions, you could explore that a little bit. And you could do that anytime during the semester. My suggestion is to do it on day 1. I also want to mention that there is 2 of the questions that are going to have images on it. And if you've done all 12 questions and you did not see any images or any pictures on there, then you are using a different browser that you're not supposed to. Again, you could only use Google Chrome or Firefox. All right, if you're using Safari or Internet Explorer, they don't allow you to see those images. So make sure you see those images on there. And then you're going to also see grades, and you'll see all your grades on there. I'll pop them in as fast as I can. Okay, and then there's some library resources if you want to go into there. Okay, so that's what you're going to find on Canvas. You're going to be basically living on Canvas, because that's where everything is. And everything I pretty much explained, here it is in a nutshell what you're going to find. This thing in yellow is explaining to you, don't go outside Canvas to register your mastering biology. Okay, so that's it. That is Canvas.